Two, one. Welcome to Spenny and the Nets, episode 252. We skipped last week, but we're back this week, and obviously it's the worst news possible. We're going to talk about the disappointing lottery results and much more. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not experiencing deja vu as we welcome back our guest from episode 251, Justin G. Justin, let's start on a positive note. How does it feel to be a recurring guest of the pod?
It's an honor. I feel great. Thank you for having me back. I had a great time last time. It was a good time. Like I said, there's just so few of us. So getting a chance to actually just talk Nets is a good time. Like the little times I get to. But it was great. I had a great time, man. I just appreciate you having me on, bro.
Yeah, man, I wish they were under better circumstances. And also the other seven Nets fans that exist, they were all busy. So you got the
Yeah.
call back. Hope that's
I'm,
cool.
I'm glad. I'm glad one of us was around because it's tough it's tough finding anywhere, even at the Barclays.
All right. Let's get right into it. Let's rip off the fucking Band-Aid. The Nets got absolutely boned in the lottery on Sunday at 3 p.m. And they had the, what was it, 52% chance, a little bit higher than that. They were going to draft in the top four. They fall all the way down to six. Just absolute devastation when they show the card at six. It's the Brooklyn Nets. And then of course there's all these tweets today that are just like, the knife in all our hearts. There are just tweets that are twisting it. I saw Brett Siegel. You're gonna love this, Justin. He said that the Nets were so close to getting the number one pick. The 4-2 first two-digit combinations for the number one pick essentially made it a 50-50 chance for Brooklyn and Washington. So the Nets they were so close, and there's all this semantics, but yeah, I mean, look, I'll read off the first six, and then we'll talk about the Nets. It's Wizards at one, Jazz at two, Grizzlies at three, Bulls at four, Clippers at five, and your Brooklyn Nets at six. Justin, when they announced this news on Sunday, what is your immediate reaction?
My immediate reaction was I wanted to go through the TV, grab Mark Tatum, the deputy commissioner, with that grin on his face and flip him upside down and shake him for whatever he had in his pockets. I was disgusted, bro. Like, I don't know why, but as soon as the show started, I don't know if this is like Nets fan, Jets fan, Mets fan mentality, but I got a fucking bad feeling, bro. I don't know why. I don't know if you felt that way. I wasn't talking to nobody. I didn't have my phone near me. I was locked in, but I just had a bad fucking feeling. And like I said, this guy's up there with this shit eating grin. But the sixth pick. And when he said, bro, like my heart dropped in my stomach because this is 2 years in a row now. And I think that added layer kind of like adds an extra element of hurt to it. That it's 2 years in a row that we went full on tank and basically are coming away with nothing to fucking show for it, bro. Like, I know you said it was probably crazy on social media today. I can only imagine. That's why I'm glad I don't have fucking Twitter, Instagram, any of that stuff. Because I'd be losing my mind right now. Because like, how do you even begin to process this, bro? Like, we sat through 7 months of bullshit, and really longer than that, 2 years, like I said, and dating back to the year before that even. We've been dealing with nonsense, bro. And to not even come away with a top four pick on this same show last time, you asked me what was my line of demarcation, like where would I be good with? I said fucking three, dude. Like, we needed a franchise altering pick. Like, we didn't need like. Now I'm sitting here like hoping we get Darius Acuff or Keaton Wagler, and like that wasn't what it was supposed to be, bro. Like, it's just not. It's not right, bro. It's fucked up. And I'll say this, you know what? I know everything's changing with the lottery and tanking and all that, but for anybody who doesn't think that this stuff is rigged, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind because they were never gonna let us win the lottery, bro. They were never going to let us win the lottery. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I'm not gonna say it's not rigged. There's so much to unpack here, man. Let's like
I know
we
I
gotta
just threw a lot out there, but I'm just disgusted, bro. I can't take it. I can't fathom it. I can't process it, and it's rigged, bro. Like they were never letting us get that shit. Never.
you got to think about the different iterations that Sean Marks has tried in terms of strategy with this team, and I'm not a Sean Marks guy. I think he should have been gone after the big three just disassembled. I think that was when you cut ties with the guy. But think about it like this: he comes in, he builds, a fake contender. Let's call it a fake contender in those D'Angelo Russell, Dinwiddie, Levert teams. They were fun. They weren't ever going to do anything, but they were competitive. Guys played better than their expectation. The general manager gets credit for that. Great. Then you luck into this KD, JH, Kyrie Irving team. A pandemic literally stops them. Fine. Okay. Uncontrollable shit. You get rid of that. Now you go this strategy where maybe we can rebuild with Mikal Bridge, not rebuild. Maybe we can be competitive with Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. Let's try this team. Not going to cut it in the East. Didn't work. Okay, great. You pivot a fourth time, Justin. I'm going on like 5, 6 years now. This is a fourth pivot in 6 years. Fine. Let's tank. Let's rebuild. Let's get a top three pick. Last year, you had the sixth best odds, you fall to eighth. This year, you had the third best odds, you fall to sixth. They've tried every strategy under the book, and nothing has worked in terms of winning for this team. So that's number one. That's looking at it from a basketball perspective, strategic. You want to talk about the emotions. Last year, when they did the draft lottery, I was in Lisbon, Portugal, with my wife. We were on a little vacay, and it's like probably 1 a.m, and I'm looking on Twitter and I see, boom, Nets get the eighth pick. I'm devastated. Fast forward to this year, it's Mother's Day. I'm home. I just got back from a trip from Spain last week. It was beautiful, Justin. So much positivity, no sports. I'm looking at the scores when I wake up at 6 a.m. because the games are at 2 a.m. So my wife's entire family is here for Mother's Day. And 3 o'clock rolls around. I run to the other room. I sprint, turn it on. They announced the lottery, and all my wife's family from the other room heard was, "No!" Screamed it. And they're like asking her, "Am I okay?" I come out. Mother's Day was over after that. I couldn't talk to anybody. I just was on Twitter. There's the only cathartic thing I can do is watch all my fellow Nets fans who are absolutely in shambles, talk about it, talk about how shitty it was, talk about how we never get anything. And I'll go as far to say, Justin, in terms of the last 2 decades, I think this is the worst moment as a Nets fan. It's worse than KD's foot on the line. It's worse than when they all demanded trades. It's worse than when Jay Kidd left. This is the worst moment because you're right. We were supposed to get a franchise altering player, and the chances I see all these people, oh, SGA, Jokic. That's an anomaly. That's not, the
And
top
that
three
those
guys.
people are Nets fans. Those people are Nets fans.
Yes,
They don't
I
know what
agree.
it's like to root for this particular organization. So a couple things just to follow up on what you said. So we didn't get into it first time, and I'm sure if I come on here more, it's going to just come up repeatedly. Because one thing that we're in full lockstep on is I don't know how Sean Marks has a job. Like, what does he have on Joe's side in terms of personal dirt that he has been able to retain his employment through, like you said, basically 4 to 5 attempts at building an organization? He's been the GM for 10 years. He's got one playoff series victory in 10 seasons. One playoff series victory in 10 seasons. And it's at the point, dude, where like it's clear that he he might be a good guy to have in your front office. Like, he makes decent moves here and there, but nothing has led to tangible winning, bro. It's just it's a maddening cycle and spiral. Now, the one thing I will push back on is as low and as bad as yesterday was, and I'm not sugarcoating that at all, nothing tops that toe on the line, man. Because that toe on the line changes everything about everything. Because if that goes in and we win, like we're winning the finals that year.
I don't know
No
about that.
question.
Every Nets
We would
fan
have
says
played
that,
the
and I don't.
Hawks, but we would
Yeah,
have played the Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals.
down
It could have been
Kyrie
Harden.
Irving.
we were gonna get Kyrie back though.
No, he was gonna come back on a bum. That was bad
He was gonna
injury.
come back by like he was gonna come back next by
See,
like game
listen,
4, 5. But even then, we would have beat
yeah,
the Hawks with Harden and KD and those guys. We could Kyrie would have came back in the finals. Then we would have played Phoenix in the finals. Like that Suns team was a fraudulent team.
I
They
just
weren't.
don't. Yeah, I think it's crazy. And again, you're in the majority. Most Nets fans feel the exact same way. I am not of the mindset of if we beat the Bucks, we're winning the championship.
Not
Maybe
because I
Atlanta we
think they
get
were the
through.
best team that year. So I think if we would have beat them, like because they were loaded, bro. And we like the toe on the line changes everything too. Because if they make it at least to the conference finals or the finals, I think that changes the outlook of maybe whether they try to stick together as opposed to just making it to the second round. And I think the other thing that you're underestimating a little bit, bro, is how lights out KD was playing. Like that
Oh,
was the
no, no, no.
best ball he's ever played in his career.
So
Like
I'm definitely not underestimating that. I also don't think
Like
that
I
they
just don't
were.
think anybody was stopping that guy, that playoffs. Like the only
If
thing
you
that was
remember
stopping him
that
was him.
series, it was Landry Shamet and Jeff Green were the two other guys on that
Jeff
team that
Green
were
was the X
scoring.
factor. He was
But
the X
again,
factor.
are you going to depend on Shamet and Jeff Green as your guys down the stretch? That to me was like that's why we
No,
lost that Milwaukee series. KD had to do too much.
but I think that Atlanta team was worse than that Milwaukee team. Like if we would have got by Milwaukee, I think that we could have strategically played around and fiddled with the lineup. We had Blake Griffin, we had Jeff Green, we had vets that could have probably dragged us through that series and got us to the finals where at least KD I mean, listen, maybe we might not have won it, but I just think if we made the finals or at least the conference finals, that it changes the complexion of how quick that team broke up. Because at least that gives you something to hold on to. Like, hey, we played a injury ravaged shortened season and we still made the conference finals. Like, let's see if we can actually play a season together. But and also just from like a personal heartbreak standpoint, like the foot on the line, like I still think about that like way too much. Like I'm a grown man. I have a kid. I have a career. Like I have a life. Like I shouldn't. But here I am, like sitting there, like at my desk, like if only KD like wearing his shoes, like his actual size. It's ridiculous, bro. But that's the only. But nonetheless, to your original point, it's one of the 5 worst moments probably the last 20 years. I'd say probably right after the foot on the line, maybe up there with demanding the trades and everything. It's brutal. It's just there's no other. It's absolutely brutal.
And now today I'm seeing videos of who was it? Someone on ESPN or I think it was maybe Nick Wright on Fox.
What
Someone
did that
compared
dumbass say?
well, I don't know if it was him. Someone compared Caleb Wilson. They said his bar is Kevin Garnett and his ceiling is Giannis. Like they compared him to two ridiculously Hall of Fame players, and now I'm seeing that the day after I know the Nets aren't going to have a shot at Caleb Wilson or the other three. Um, you know, there is some hope for us, Justin, because I don't know if you saw this. The Wizards have a win now ready team in the East with Trey Young and Anthony Davis and Alex Sarr. I think it was Trey Johnson last year. Like they have some
But we should
players,
have been doing something like this.
but Justin, they might want to move off of the first pick. They're not looking for a savior of the franchise. So if we're able to trade this pick, basically the deal would be they get MPJ and the number 6 pick and whatever else they fucking want. I think Jaeger Joman's untouchable. I don't think they want a point guard in Traore or any of these guys, but MPJ and the number 6 pick would be the headliner, maybe another first. Do you pull the trigger for number 1 in DeBonsa with Washington?
We'd have to, right? Like, like we can't stay home and pick 6 and act like everything's going to be cool. I'm sorry, we just can't. Like with our track record, with Sean Marks' track record, with our history as a franchise, we that situation, and the only this is gonna sound so bad, but at least it's a Nets fan, so you'll probably get it. The only like comfort that I had like picking 6, I was like, oh yeah, like if we did get a top 3 pick, we would pick the wrong fucking guy out of the 3 of them. Like we would end up picking the one who like breaks his foot in like the first year, has to sit out the first 2 years of his career, like while the other two are like just like because what are the chances like all 3 of them actually turn out to be superstars? Like obviously like, right now it looks like but it's rare that it happens like that. We've only really had like 3 drafts like that, like 83. '03. There's been a few of them, but they're few and far between. So it's like that's the only thing I was like, oh, at least like maybe there's like less of a chance, like we're not gonna. But to your point, bro, I wouldn't mind that deal. There's a couple deals I heard floated around on the Bill Simmons podcast last night. I'm not even gonna take credit for him. Bill Simmons was saying it. He was saying maybe the Nets flip 6 for Pablo Banchero straight up. Maybe Orlando's looking to get rid of some. I didn't hate that. Didn't love it, but didn't hate it. At least it gets us closer to a playing game. Something, bro. Because we don't control our pick next year.
Yep, it's
So
Houston's.
there's we this is it. Like whatever roster we put together has to be some sort of playing team. Like there's no incentive to fucking suck anymore.
I posted my reaction on Facebook. It's like a 2 minute video from this morning, and our boy Tim from Hoops wrote, "We own your pick next year too." LOL. Tim's a Rockets fan, so I
Shout
was like,
out
"Yeah."
Tim. Tim is a
I
real
was
Rockets fan. I'll give him
I was
that.
like,
Shout out
"Yeah,
Tim.
man. Don't remind me. Like, I know we don't have a
And
pick next year."
shout out Tim. Tim would be the guy to say that, bro. You know what, Tim? You would. That's like so something you would do. Like, by the way, we do own that pick. I could just see him like
So the Nets can't, like, if we suck next year, it's for no reason. It's literally just because
it's
we
it's
tried to win
literally for
games.
it's maddening. Like and we drafted 5 first rounders. None of them made an all rookie team.
Yep, that's bad.
So what makes me think that Sean Marks is going to nail something with the 6th pick? Like, I just can't. Like, I can't see it. I can't picture it. So because the best guys that he's drafted are playing right now for the Cavs. Like, so like it's not happening. And even those guys aren't superstars. So
I mean,
we
Noah
yeah.
Clowney is not, first rounder, not looking amazing. Very up and
Not at
down
all.
season last year.
That little corner three he's got is a little cool, but so do the other 286 players in the league that shoot it at the same percentage as him. But anyway, it's just one of those things, bro. Like I don't know if Washington would be open to taking that deal. I would do that. We got to do something though. We can't just like sit there. I don't know who in the top 5 might be willing to trade back. Basketball is. It's not like the NFL in that sense where like trading back you can get like this like treasure trove and stockpile and you get a couple like it's not it's kind of weird like that. Like it's not like I don't know. So but we have to come away with some sort of established stars off this 6th pick, whether it's a trade, a move up. We can't just stay home at 6. And I'll lose my fucking mind, bro. I can't do it. Like I can't take it.
I don't know. We might. And it's funny. You were talking about, the likelihood of the top 3 guys all being superstars is pretty low. If I had to pick a bust, I'm picking Boozer. He fits
I
the mold for like Jaleel Okafor or like one of these
Marvin
really
Bagley or
talented.
something.
Yeah, bro, like one of these sick players in college who just get by because of brute strength, and then they get to the NBA with guys like Steven Adams and fucking Jonas Valanciunas who are just bricks, and all of a sudden they're not that good because they can't body everybody. To me, that's Boozer's kid.
I think he's a little more polished than some of those guys were, though. I think he's a little more polished than Okafor and Bagley. Like I think he's got a good jumper. I think he's got some of that leadership qualities. I got to see him. Like I don't watch too much college, but I watched him play a decent amount. He was good, man. I don't know. Like I said, he's a little vertically challenged, which could be an issue, but we'll see. I don't know about all the Jokic comparisons and stuff. I think that's a little aggressive, but I don't know. Like I said, and like I said on the last pod I was on, if we did get a top 3 pick, we probably would have picked Darren Peterson because it seems like he's got a lot of like issues, like off the court, mentally. Like he doesn't know if he wants to play a lot, which seems like a Nets kind of player. Like like that would fit in line with our what we do. We have these head cases and stuff, but
Would he be your pick for a bust? If you had to pick one guy in the top 4 to be a bust, would it be DP?
yeah, probably because like at that point, like loving basketball matters, man. Like I don't know if that guy
Did
loves
you
playing
did you hear
basketball.
the news that came out about him though, like
He
recently?
said it was like too much creatine.
Yeah,
A
what the
lot of
fuck
people
is
say, yeah, I
that?
think that's nonsense, bro. And the story came out like right before the week of the lottery. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
I took too
kids
much
in
creatine.
kids on my high school wrestling team are taking creatine, dude. Like, What are we talking about? Like, and he's saying that it's making him like cramp up in this game. Like, I don't know. So like, I would say him just off the fact that like he might not be all there, dude. Like, I don't know. So like the other two guys at least seem like they, want to play basketball. I don't know if he wants to all the time. But then again, like there was some rumors that like they didn't pay him like the NIL he was supposed to get. So he was like, playing like, oh, you're gonna pay me this much, I'll play this much, which is kind of funny, but like you don't want that guy on your team,
I
dude.
think
Like,
they just paid him in creatine, dude. They were like, we're not going to give you money. Here's as much
yeah,
creatine
maybe.
as humanly possible.
It's absurd.
Um,
Like, I can't believe that's the excuse that him and his $1 million agent came up with. Like, he should have just
yeah,
called me. I could have came up with something better. Like,
we're gonna get into who you and I might like at six, but before we do, I was drinking a Corona Extra before I got the shades. This episode is the death of the hopes and dreams for Nets fans getting a top three pick because of the lottery in 2026. So I poured myself a little port wine too, drinking on a Monday. Just great habits to start the week. And yeah, to the death of the hopes and dreams for Nets fans. This is to you guys.
yeah, you got to do something to just get through it because it's like, like today felt like a malaise, dude. I just felt like I was in a daze all day. Like, didn't feel like it's just I
Did
can't.
did you have anybody text you being like, "Yo, that was brutal. Sorry." Like not Nets fans.
I did. I have my group chat with my two best friends. One of them is a Nets fan, although he's lost some interest the past few years, which I don't really blame him too much. I like how can you blame the guy? And then my other friend who's just not remotely interested in the NBA but likes to troll me. And since he doesn't know anything about the NBA, he didn't know until like 9 o'clock at night. He just like casually slips in the group chat. Oh, hey Justin, I saw the Nets got the sixth pick. What do you think about that? What the fuck do you think I think about it? Like we got the sixth pick.
That's a
Like I
that's
was
a troll.
fucking
That's a troll text.
yeah, of course, of course. And this is like shout out to He's one of my best friends. I think you've probably seen him at the court, bro. But he freaking he 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 knew exactly what he was doing. But and I had a few other people reach out to me. What'd you think about this? Like, what do you think I'm gonna say? Like, how do you think I fucking feel? Like, I just watched Yegor Yomin and Troy and Clowney and like try to play basketball every night for 4 or 5 months and this was the first season that I didn't have my season tickets in a couple of years because we were just so bad that I couldn't justify driving over there. And I wanted so badly for them yesterday to give me a reason to call my season ticket rep. Shout out to Thier with the Brooklyn Nets. Great, great, great season ticket rep. I wanted them to give me a reason to call her back so bad, dude. I wanted them to give me something, bro. I wanted, my son, who I love so much. Shout out my son. He's gonna be 3. I was envisioning him growing with this player. Whoever this young man we draft championships, my son will be entering high school. This will be his guy. He'll grow up with him. We'll bond through the Nets. You talk about Nets fans' hopes and dreams being dashed. It's good. It's gone. Everything.
Yeah, I once had a Knicks fan who's a friend of mine say to me, "Man, if I was a Nets fan, I'd kill myself." And besides being incredibly insensitive to suicide, I understood why he said that. I got it. It hurt. I looked at him. I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna say what the fuck because
Well, you know what? I
whatever,
will say
dude.
one thing, man. That guy, you, all the other Nets fans, he's not a Jets fan.
He's
Because you know
not.
what? Yeah, exactly. I know because he wouldn't have said that. That's how I know already. Because this is a basketball podcast. I'll keep it to that. But as sad as the Nets make us, we've gone to the playoffs a bunch of times. If you're a Nets fan around our age, we've gone to the playoffs a bunch of times. We've been to 2 finals. We've gone on runs. The Jets have given me absolutely fucking nothing. Nothing. I'm 30. They haven't made the playoffs since I was 15. That's half my life. So you know what? The Nets, as rough as it is today, shout out the Nets, they don't give me nearly as many problems as the Jets do out of my teams. And I'll
I
leave it at
think
that.
I think that's fair. I mean, and also the guy making decisions when the Nets were good was a gentleman by the name of Rod Thorne.
Shout out
Um,
Rod Thorne.
Shout out Rod Thorne.
He was a
OG.
beast. He was a beast. And it all went downhill with Billy King. But you know what? At least the Nets have adults making the decisions. The Jets are run by Brick Johnson. Shout out Brick Johnson. 19-year-old, Woody Johnson's son. He cut Aaron Rodgers. shout out Brick. That's who I'm going. That's who my fortunes are tied to the rest of my life.
Shout out to Jets fans. I get it. I'm a Giants fan, so we got some decent days ahead with our new coach. But all right, Justin, pick number six. Who's your guy? Who do you have anyone at this point that you like more than the other at six? Me personally, I think I said this the last show. I like Acuff Jr. I don't really care that he's a defensive liability. I think he's probably the most gifted scorer in this draft after DeBonsa and Peterson. So for me, if he's there, look, there's another short guy across the river who's currently in the Eastern Conference Finals, and there's been a lot of talk about his being a defensive liability on his team. So yeah, I'd love my own version of that guy. I think that's Darius Acuff Jr.
Everybody's a defensive liability in the NBA. None of them play defense. So I guess everybody's a defensive liability. But you know what? I, to answer the question, I would love to trade the pick for something established, but let's be realistic. Sean Marks is sitting there thinking, "Oh yeah, it's my time now. It's smart, everybody. I'm gonna sit home." So it's between Acuff and the Keaton Wagler kid. This is that time where you're hearing all sorts of ridiculous stuff. You mentioned Caleb Wilson's getting compared to Greek Freak and Garnett. I heard Keaton Wagner get compared to Steph Curry this week, and I heard Acuff get compared to Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook. So you know what? I guess, be okay with either of those two. What else can I fucking do? Like, like what else? What else can we do? Like, besides literally having fan protests outside the Barclays, which would probably draw news because they'd be like, "Wow, like people care enough to protest the Nets." Wow. Like I just don't know what else to do because it's Joe Tsai. Clearly, Sean Marks has immeasurable job security. Like, if we miss the playoffs this year, it's not like he's getting fired. He's not going to fire him. It'll be like, oh no, he's in the third year of his fourth rebuild. How can we fire him in the third year of his fourth rebuild? Like, so I guess we have to take a guard. We have to take a lead guard. I know this sounds absurd, but we have to take somebody that could dribble and create their own shot. We don't have a guy right now that could really like break you down and create his own offense. Like MPJ is great, but he does a lot of his damage off catch and shoots, and he showed a little more of a bag last year, but that's not really his game. And like Traore, he wants to run downhill. And like I envision him like at his like if he tops out more as like a poor man's Tony Parker than anything. Like he's not gonna give you like 22 and 10 ever. He'll probably give you like 14 and 6 or something like that. They need a real lead guard. So if Acuff or Wagler, I mean, I know you're more in the loop. Is Wagler like is he a two guard or is he a one? Like what does he do? Like I know
He's a
Acuff's a one.
scorer. Yeah, I think he's kind of a combo guard. I think because I looked at his stuff today, he is like, he could play the two, could play, I think he's 6'5", so he's kind of like a tweener. Whereas
That might be
Acuff,
it might be a weird fit with like him and Traore and like Yeoman
yeah,
in that
but here's
backcourt.
here's the thing, because the Nets took Traore and Saraf last year, so if they take
Sarab,
him,
get him out of here.
well, that's the thing. Yeah, that pick is going to be useless. You're not going to carry 3 point guards. And then also Traore, who showed a little bit of promise this year, all of a
I
sudden he's
like
a
him.
glorified backup, right? So like now you have this 18th overall pick. He's your backup. I guess that can work if the point guard works out. But then like again, I don't think the front court is that good. Like Claxton and Noah Clowney, no one that's not a great front court. So there's still a
Let
lot of
me
work
let
to
me
be done.
let me ask you your thoughts on this. If we called up OKC, said we'll give you 6 for AJ Mitchell and one of their other role players, how would you feel about that?
Depends on the role player.
If we can
But
get like Isaiah Joe, or
I
like
mean,
or
that's
like
not enough. That's not enough.
or if we could weasel them into like Kason Wallace somehow.
So you're getting basically their backcourt minus Shea and McCain and Caruso. I still don't love
We're
that.
not getting J Dub either.
Yeah, no, I don't love that trade. And I like
I think
Mitchell.
AJ
Mitchell's been
Mitchell's about to
nice
pop off. I think he's got a little Harden in him, getting off the OKC shakeout.
because he's a
I think
lefty.
his neck. Yeah, but I like I'm just watching him. Like I feel like he could like come in and I don't. You know what I'm at? Like Spencer, I'm at the point, bro. Like I want somebody that's like proven, not a
Yeah.
projection. And
Yeah.
like the fact that like he's coming in, he's balling out in the playoffs. Like I feel like he's got confidence. Like I want somebody that's already done it. Like if we're gonna trade this pick, like what if I lost track of the score here because I don't have it on the background. But like Cleveland flames out. Like would you do 6 for Donovan Mitchell?
People like Mitchell. I'm not super high on Mitchell only because he's never really brought his teams to the promised land. And then I look at our team and I say, is this Donovan Mitchell led Brooklyn Nets team going to be better than the Mitchell Utah teams or the Mitchell Cavaliers teams? I don't think so.
No, but at least those teams are in the second round, which
And
at
they're
this point
fun,
I'll
right?
sign up for. I'll
I get
sign
what
up
you
for that,
mean. Look,
bro. I want I
here
want to I want to like experience some success, bro.
here was my
I'm
thing
a
with
Mets, Jets,
Sean
and Nets
Marks.
fan.
Let me tell you my see. They're in cahoots. There's something weird going on. But the second Sean Marks made that Mikal Bridges trade, and they allowed him to draft last year, right? The Jaeger Joman pick. I said on my podcast the second that happened that he still had a job. I said he gets 3 years in Joe Tsai's head. This next year to suck. That second year to suck because obviously we had our 2026 pick. If they do not make the playoffs this next season, because they have to be competitive, there's no reason. There's nothing to justify him keeping his job. I think that Josiah will do the right thing. I think he'll be gone, and nothing up to that point tells me that that's going to happen. But at some point, it'll be over a decade next year, like close to 9, 10 years. I think he's gone if they don't make the playoffs. You can't suck for that long and have a 6 year drought. No other NBA team gives their general manager that much leeway. I think he's gone next year.
I mean, I would hope so. Like I would really hope so. I mean, who's your baseball team? You a Yankees guy?
I'm not a big baseball guy.
All right, I'm a huge. I care about baseball probably more than any of these sports, to be honest. I'm a big Mets guy, big Mets fan, and everyone shits on David Stearns, which I usually defend him, which is crazy. I know it's like really unpopular, but I mean he's been the GM for 2 years, and he at least has 2 playoff series wins. Like you said, we're about to go into a decade of Sean Marks. He's got one, bro. Like it's got to come to a point where like enough is enough, man. Like we deserve more. And I don't know where that leaves Jordy and the whole thing, with the new GM, but I don't really care. Like, cool. Like, I know he gets a lot of like hype and buzz because like he kind of won a few too many games with Dennis Schroeder. So everyone's like, oh yeah, like Jordy Burnett. But like, dude, like at this point, I want proven results. Like if we fire Sean Marks, I want a proven GM. Somebody who's like I'm tired of this like rebuilding. I want to actually fucking win, dude. And especially with the fact that the Knicks are like dominating the way they are, like we have to become relevant again, bro. Like this season is showing clearly how wide open the fucking East is. It can't be that hard to get good quick. Like the Pacers made the finals last year. They look like they suck now. Like
They
it
got
just
also
takes
got fucked in the lottery. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, which is crazy too. Like the Clippers basically commit a white collar fraudulent crime and get rewarded with the 5th overall pick. And again, like I said, this shit is fucking fixed. But we
Yeah.
get a pick below the Clippers. That also bothered me too. Like literally, Pablo Torres winning a Pulitzer Prize for his reporting into their story. He literally won a Pulitzer Prize for his reporting. I don't know if you saw that,
Yep.
but
The
like,
Asperian thing.
yeah. And then we're getting a pick below them. Like, what does that say about how the NBA views us?
It says we're pathetic, Justin. It says that no one takes us seriously. It says that
Second class citizens.
we're the
We're second
biggest
class
loser.
citizens.
We are the biggest loser franchise in the NBA. I don't think it's close. I think I'd rather be a Charlotte Hornets fan. I'd rather be a fucking Washington Wizards fan for sure. The moves that the Wizards have made the last 2, 3 years, they're set up for success for the next 6 seasons.
You know what, though?
Um,
They've never been to the conference finals.
the Wizards, yeah, because they're also a
I don't
newer
think they've ever
franchise.
been once.
They've
Nah,
only
you know
been
what?
a
I still take us over them. The Hornets have never been to the finals. I'll take our little
Wait,
ragtag.
you're talking history though. I'm talking the
Yeah, I'll
last
take our
like ten
ragtag
years.
history.
What about the last 10 years? I guess you
I
take the
mean,
big three because the big three was pretty fun.
yeah, it was fun. It was
It was
great. We got
fun.
to troll Knicks fans. We won a bunch of regular season games. I always love to cite this. The 16 games that Harden, Kyrie, and KD played together, they have the highest offensive rating in NBA history by a significant margin. Only got to play 16 games together, but they were pretty damn good in the 16 they did.
I think it was like 5, 6 years ago at this point. It was so long ago.
It's insane. It feels like it was yesterday.
Oh my God.
All we need
All
is 30
right.
for 30.
I was thinking, I think a mockumentary about like Nets fans would be very funny if you just had like the sad music and us just being like, really, really fucking depressed. Be like, yeah, like we watch so much. We watch G League basketball for an entire second half of a season, right? You would never turn on the Long Island Nets, but we watch G League basketball and we sit at that screen for those 5 minutes and it's like watching a loved one die and we just do a fucking mockumentary like that. I think that would do numbies. Yeah, man, it's oof. All right, real quick, some playoff updates. We got the Knicks sweep the Sixers. Knicks are playing the best basketball that I think we've ever seen them play from this current iteration. They're going to play the winner of Cavs Pistons, which are tied 56-52 at halftime. Although that game will be done by the time you're listening to this on Tuesday morning. Justin, who gives the Knicks a tougher time, in your opinion, the Pistons or the Cavs?
Can I say our McKay Park basketball crew? Like, I don't think either of those teams give them a challenge. Like, it's sickening. Like the state of the Eastern Conference is sickening. But on a serious note, I guess the Pistons, because I think maybe Cade Cunningham could give some challenges. Like, I feel like they would destroy the Cavs. I don't know. Like Harden just doesn't do it in the play. Oh, he did have a good game two, I guess that was to tie it, or game. Is that game two that they tied it up, or game three? They're in game four right now, so that was game
Yeah,
three.
so I
They were
think it was
down
game
2-0. They
three.
got the
Yep.
win. He
Yep.
scored
He
those
hit he
seven
hit a
points at the
few
end.
yep.
Yeah, I watched that. That was pretty impressive. But the game before that, he had 10 points, like 7 turnovers again, like he always does in the playoffs. So I don't get what happens to him. Something clearly happens to that guy in the playoffs. Like it's weird, dude. I don't know. But I guess Detroit. But even then, like, what would you give Detroit? One game against the Knicks?
I'll give him 2 games. I think Detroit can take 2 games. I think Cade can get them 2 games on his own. But after that, I do think the Knicks take it in six. Um,
I think it'd be tough to get even that one on them right now. The way they're rolling. The only things I could see maybe hurting them is like maybe a layoff because they're playing so well and they're having such good momentum. We've seen it before in the past. I can't think of a basketball example that really comes right to mind, but I can definitely think of a baseball example with the Mets. When we made the World Series in 15, we swept the Cubs, and the Royals and Blue Jays played a drag it out 7 game series while we sat at home for a week. And there was a difference in game one. The Royals were crisp, they were sharp, they've been playing. We hadn't played in a week, and it showed. And we got off to a bad start. We were sloppy. We had defensive errors, stuff that we weren't doing wrong. So that's all. But even then, like, I don't have faith in Detroit, dude. Like I've been watching them a little closer now. They don't really have a secondary scorer. Their secondary scorer is who's going to get hot from three, whether it's Duncan
right.
Robinson, Tobias Harris. They're relying on a cascade of guys. They got Jaden Ivey. They have Isaiah Stewart, who I guess like tries to play this like tough guy role, but like he's not really that good. Like Mitchell Robinson's like as good as him, probably.
Better.
I hope we
Mitchell
steal
Robinson's
Mitchell
better than
Robinson.
Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, I hope we steal Mitchell Robinson in free agency, dude. Like, I hope we get him. Like, he's the only Nick I like. I like. I don't even like any of the other guys. I actually like him, but that's who I would say is like I would give. What do you think, bro? You think the Cavs or you think the Pistons
No,
too?
no, I don't have any faith in the Cavs. I think that
Yeah, yeah.
Evan Mobley's a bust. I think that
He
you know,
never
as
gets better.
he never,
He just
yeah,
stays the
yeah.
same.
He's fine. Jared Allen, I love Jared Allen, but like he doesn't do much in the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell, like I don't trust any of the guys on those team. Like, yeah, they're all good players individually, but collectively, Detroit, like you said, Detroit's beating them without a real secondary scorer.
Yeah, something's
Not,
always missing with those guys.
yeah, yeah. And again, they're a team like they should have tried to trade for MPJ. They should have tried to trade for who was not Herder. There was another player that I think the Pistons were looking into. I can't remember who, but they needed to make a move and they really didn't at the deadline. Um, yeah, I think that the Pistons give the Knicks a. Oh, I wanted to shout out my brother Nick. He's co-host of this podcast. He's usually the temporary co-host when he's available. He said shout out to Malik Beasley because if Beasley doesn't get arrested for the whole gambling thing and doesn't get the contract with Detroit, Duncan Robinson doesn't get picked up by Detroit and sign that nice deal. And he's been hooping for them in this postseason.
I forgot about that whole situation. Malik Beasley, guy can never get it under control, but when he plays, he's pretty damn good.
He's pretty damn good. And you brought up Mitchell Robinson just now. I texted my Knicks fans and I said, thank you guys have to thank God that he is so offensively limited and can't shoot free throws because if he had any lick of an offensive game, the Knicks wouldn't be able to afford him. He would price them out. But because he's so flawed in those little areas,
I
they can
still
get him
think I
from.
still think he's going to get a big contract this
You think
offseason. I
so?
think he'll be priced.
He's
I
so
hope we
good
steal him. We've
defensively.
got a ton of money to spend. I would love to. I would love to grab him,
We're probably
dude.
going to give
It would be
Claxton an extension or something.
it would be great though if we could try out a lineup with
Uh,
him and Claxton together. Like, and Claxton could play
uh,
a four. You know, like, even though he can't shoot,
yeah.
like, going big would be great. Like, just having that optionality because we haven't had that. Like, or even like a lineup with Mitchell Robinson and Day'Ron Sharp, and that would be good. They would get every rebound, dude.
I guess, but like, who are you kidding? You think if Mitchell Robinson comes here, he's going to be healthy for a year? You think we're going to get a healthy?
No, no.
If he wasn't healthy over there, he's not going to be healthy in Brooklyn. And he's a
Oh, of
big
course,
trucks
yeah.
guy. He loves his trucks. He always talks about his fucking trucks. Sick. I mean, no, nothing
And he
against
seems
people
like
who
a
like
weirdo.
trucks,
He
but
doesn't get he seems
yeah,
like a weird guy. He doesn't get like haircuts. He doesn't get like a shape up. He lives in New York City. Like, he's making a bunch of money. If you don't have a shape up and like you're playing in the NBA, something's off with you. Like,
yeah,
because
I
all the
think
guys look fresh. Like, it's weird.
yeah, he's been having a really good. I mean, everyone on the Knicks, like ever since that game 4 win against the Hawks, they've just
Sickening.
they haven't lost.
Sickening.
Going to the West Coast quickly, the Thunder on the verge of sweeping the Lakers. I believe that game is that tonight too. Yeah, that's going to be tonight.
Yeah,
So
that's the night. That's
that
over.
that series may be done. Not
Sweet.
much there. OKC's just looked so fucking dominant through those first few rounds. I've never seen a playoff team. I think like maybe back in the day with the Dallas Mavericks, that team that won the whole thing. The Thunder are legitimately 12 deep. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, everybody can shoot, dribble, pass, defend, all at a high level. It's kind of crazy.
It's
They
insane.
they they basically play positionless. Everybody can guard 1 through 5 almost. Like, even their guards, they're all big, they're all aggressive. I love watching
Aaron,
them play.
Aaron Wiggins can't see the floor, and he probably starts on 50% of the NBA on NBA teams, but he can't see the floor
I
because
love watching them play. They're all That's why, like, we gotta like we gotta talk to them and see if we can
oh
like get
man.
somebody off that roster.
Yeah. Yeah, but
We
but
gotta
that's the
like
thing. Presti's so smart that if we try to make a trade with them, he's gonna totally destroy us.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. And then we got the last game. The last series is Spurs Wolves tied 2 games apiece. That game 4 was insane. Anthony Edwards is a dog. He pops off. Wemby elbows the shit out of Naz Reid. He gets ejected. I still think the Spurs will probably take this in 6 or 7. But what are your thoughts on this series? I mean, it's hard to bet against Ant-Man.
It really is. And I told a couple of people before that. I think I even said on this show that the Timberwolves have been in the conference finals 2 years in a row. They're a battle tested veteran squad. They play D. Like you said, they have Ant, who's, you're in any game with him. He's proven that over the course of the last couple of years. He's proven that at the Olympics. I think he's probably like, it's weird. He's like really underrated, I feel like, in a really like weird way. Like, I feel like 10, 15 years ago, he would have been a massive star. Like,
Well,
and it's not
it's
like,
funny you say that because, like, my dad's a very casual watcher. He didn't really watch, but he asked me, he's like, who's that guy you told me about a few years ago who reminds you of Michael Jordan? Just the way that they play. And I was like, Anthony Edwards. We have not seen a guy as athletic as MJ with that scoring ability, other than Kobe, since like Anthony Edwards is Michael Jordan in the 90s. He's just not winning championships every single year.
yeah, no, he's great. Like, I love Anthony Edwards. I have his Team USA T-shirt jersey. I'm a big fan of that guy. I think he's awesome. I love his mentality, everything. But like, I don't know. There's always been some like I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know why he's not bigger. He's got the personality. I don't know. Like, somebody told me one time, I think it's like a Minnesota thing, and I'm like, nah, like, because when KG was in Minnesota, he was huge. Like, everyone knew who KG was, and he was the man. Like my mom knew who KG was. Like, so it's not like, it's definitely not that. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if maybe, the NBA is not as socially, culturally relevant as it was back then. Obviously, like, I don't know what it is, but it seems like he doesn't get like that same kind of buzz, that same hype. He's definitely the best American player in the league right now. It's like by far. I mean, because all the best guys are, like SGA is from Canada, Jokic is
Yeah.
Serbian, Luka's from Slovenia. Like all these guys are from other countries. Like he's the best like USA born bred player we have right now. So I wouldn't bet against him, but I just think, like you said, San Antonio's got a little bit too much. But I would not be surprised if like Minnesota somehow like finds a way to win the series. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes seven. Like no outcome would really surprise me. But like I said, I think the most likely outcome is what you said. San Antonio probably has too much firepower. What a stupid move by Wemby. He didn't even have to do that, bro. I don't know why he did that. Loss is cool.
Yeah, that was a little weird, but I think they're fine. Do you think San Antonio can take the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals or no?
I don't think they're ready. I know everybody's like, oh, they beat them in the regular season and shit, but I don't think that matters. I mean, we beat the Heat 4 times in the regular season with Paul Pierce and KG, and then they swept us in the playoffs, bro. Like, that shit doesn't matter. Like, once you get to the playoffs, it's a different game. And I don't know, like, I don't think the Spurs get to like skip steps. Like every other team has to like lose a heartbreaking series as the young team and deal with it. Even the Thunder had to. They lost the Nuggets. They lost like 2 years in a row with SGA before they, finally broke through. They lost to the Mavs, I think, the year before that when the Mavs went to the finals. I think they got bounced by them. So no, I don't think the Spurs get to like skip a step and get there. And I think if any team can equip the Spurs, it is OKC because they have Chet, they have Hartenstein, they have size that can bang with.
I hate the logic you just used because what team that's left has had heartbreaking playoff series losses the last 2 years? The New York Knicks.
I know,
So based
but
on your logic, they've already lost. They've lost the heartbreakers. Now they just gotta win it. Ah, that kills me. By the way, you brought up
but
Pierce before.
I think they are going to the finals though. I mean, we got to accept
I'm
that.
with
Like,
you. I'm with you. Right
we
now,
got to accept it. We
I
just
think
got to
their
hope whoever
odds.
comes out of the West, gets it done for us. That's it.
I just saw the Knicks have the second best odds to win it all after the Thunder. Those are recently recalculated
Yeah,
by Vegas. Before I forget, Paul Pierce, you brought him up, former Brooklyn Net, massive Knicks hater, which I fucking love. I don't know if you pay attention to the shit he says. I don't know if he says it outside of social media, but he
yeah.
basically
On
said that
TV,
like
it comes through. Same with Richard Jefferson. Like I've
yeah,
heard, like you can tell.
Pierce is still doubling, tripling down on the concept that the Knicks are somehow going to blow it. And he's like, something's going to happen. They're not winning a championship. Some guy's leg's going to fall off in the fucking the Eastern Conference Finals. Like something will happen that will prevent them from winning it all. So I hope he's right.
All I can do is knock on wood, bro, and hope we get a break because that would just be the worst having to
Paul
see
Pierce.
that on top of me.
Paul Pierce is one of those guys, like, I feel like Nets fans gotta like because we used to dominate him when it was his Celtics team. And then obviously you get Garnett and Allen, they break through, they win the championship, but we sucked when that happened. So it wasn't like, it wasn't
Yeah,
cool
no,
with
they
them.
weren't beating us.
And then him and KG come to Brooklyn, and even though they weren't that good anymore, they fully embraced being Nets, at least for the minimal time they
I
were
have no
there.
problem with those guys. Like Nets fans that complain about that era, I think are like out of pocket. Like I have no problem. Like you said, they embraced it. They played hard. They didn't mail it in. It wasn't like they like came in and were like, "Oh, we're veterans at the end of our career." Nah, fuck that. They went to the playoffs both years. We had them. They took that shit serious.
They beat the
Um,
Raptors.
definitely, definitely. Pierce called game, and
Pierce.
they, they
No, is that
that
what
was
he
with the
said with
Wizards,
them?
but
That was with the Wizards,
yeah,
yeah.
he was with the Wizards when he called game. But
I think when he
he hit some
stuffed
clutch shots though.
Lowry, he
He
stuffed
hit some clutch
Lowry.
shots.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. I think he said like this is my house or something. But yeah, no, shout out
But
Paul
we
Pierce.
shout out ISO Joe on those teams too. That was
Ooh,
my guy. He was
ooh,
always great to
ooh.
come through in those clutch moments. I love
Oh,
Joe Johnson.
are you a
Yeah, he was
duo
great,
guy in
man.
Brooklyn or nah?
I didn't mind him, but like obviously it ended pretty awful. But I like that. I like when he first came and he played pretty well with us, but it didn't end great.
He
It didn't
fizzled
end great.
out. He fizzled out like a soda going flat.
But you know what? The one thing I always like was at peace with the D Will thing is that like at least he didn't go somewhere else after and he had stuff in the tank. He just
No,
sucked. He
yeah,
was
he was
done.
ass. He was
Like he was
ass.
cooked. Yeah. So like that would have made me more pissed. If he went somewhere after and like had a resurgence, I would be like, fuck you. Like he was cooked.
We're gonna end the show with a little food stuff for those who listen. By the way, I meant to mention this earlier, and I'm sorry I'm doing it at the very end of the episode. Justin mentioned McKay Hoops before. If you're an inconsistent listener to the show and didn't listen to episode 251, you can go back, listen right now. Justin is a guy I play pickup hoops with, so Justin knows ball. All right. He's a diehard Nets fan. We hoop at McKay in Englewood. Shout out to all the homies that hoop there. But yeah, we're gonna end this pod with a little bit of food stuff because I know Justin's a food guy, and we're gonna get
Definitely.
into it. So I pretty much just have one question. Two questions. What are your top three favorite kinds of pizza? We're talking kinds of pizza here, Justin. Give me your top
Ooh,
three.
that's a great question. Especially living where we live. It's like a embarrassment of riches around here. But I think my number one go to is probably just got to be like an old school sausage pie.
Okay.
Just something nice, crispy sausage. Second, no doubt, is margarita. I love
Okay.
margarita pizza, like especially if it's really good. And then I'd say in the last like 5 years, I've gotten really, really into white pizza. Like a good
White
white
pizza.
pie, bro. Like Vesta in East Rutherford. Shout out Vesta on Route
I had my
17.
first date there with my wife. Our
Oh
first date
wow,
ever
good.
was at
That's a good
Vesta.
spot.
Yeah.
That's a good spot. Vesta's a great spot. They make great food. Shout out Vesta. They got a great white pie that I get with chicken cutlet. Amazing, bro.
I like that, bro. All right. My top three favorite kinds of pizza, I would say, you ever have like a square grandma pie?
Oh yeah, I used
So
to be a
that
pizza man back in the day. I used to make one.
Square grandma, like kind of my version of a margarita that I fucking love. Yeah, you got the plum tomato sauce. It's not as thick as a Sicilian. It's a little bit thinner, but still thick enough to get
Yeah,
the job done. So number one is grandma. Number two, fuck, I'll because I love pizza too much. Number two, I'll go personal plain pie. That's it. Just a personal, like I'm talking
can't
10
go wrong
inch
with that.
four slices. You're familiar with Anthony Franco's?
Yeah, of course.
So like growing up, bro, when I was like 15 years old, I wasn't even a fat kid. That's the sad thing. I was a skinny kid. I got fat in college. But
I
yeah,
see. I'm the
growing up,
reverse. I
man,
was fat, and then I got skinny as
you
an
got
adult, but
skinny.
I still eat a
That's
bunch of pizza.
I'd be like 15, it'd be a half day. All the kids would go somewhere. I'd just go home and order a personal pie and garlic knots from Anthony Franco's. Shout out to Anthony Franco's.
Yeah,
And
you
then
can't go
my
wrong there.
can't go wrong there, dude. My third pie, oof, I got like three or four different kinds in my head.
It's so
Um,
tough, man.
I'll go a really good Neapolitan pie. So the one that's cooked in the
Oh yeah.
fucking oven, bro. Like what's sad is I live very close to a spot. I'm not gonna call them out because I don't want to hurt their business. But they're known for their Neapolitan pies and like they're not great. They're okay.
I,
But
I
I'll
think I know the place you're talking about. I
you
won't.
know
I won't knock them either, but I would have to agree with that sentiment
it's
for
not the
sure.
best, bro. I was in
What about a,
fucking.
what about a nice vodka drunken grandma
I do like that. That's my
with
wife's
vodka
favorite.
sauce?
Yeah, vodka pies are good, but I'm just such a classic guy. Like, give me tomato sauce over vodka for pizza any day of the week.
See, I used to be a really big Sicilian guy, like when I was a bigger guy. Now I still eat them every once in a while, but I don't know. Like now it just seems like so much. But
Yeah,
I know we were talking about it, off the show. But shout out Donna's and Pal Park.
Donna's,
Donna's is a
dude,
great old school
fire,
Sicilian.
fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Donna's is a great spot. And like I said, old school sausage pie. Like I was saying, whenever like Donna's great. Like if you're just getting to just want a straight up banging like Jersey style pie, definitely. And you also can't go wrong with like the bar style, like
Oh,
Kinchleys.
yeah. That was
You know,
like
like
I was trying to
I
pinpoint my
forgot about
last
that.
one.
That would probably honestly be my number one if I'm really
The
like
bar
thinking
pie.
about it now.
Nah, okay.
Like a Kinsley's bar pie would probably be my number one, and then like progressively with the rest of my
Yeah.
list. Because like if you're asking me like, hey, what do you like? I would love a Kinsley's bar pie. I'd go for pretty much anything. Like that's
I
yeah.
I had one of the best Neapolitan pizzas of my life last week when I was in Spain.
I bet you probably had some really good food there, bro.
Mainly Spanish food, but the pizza I
Yeah,
had was fucking incredible. Um, and then the one, one that's kind of caught my eye the last few years. I wouldn't necessarily put him top three, but you ever have Detroit style?
bro. I love Detroit style pizza. There's a
Detroit style's
spot in
pretty good.
Manhattan called Lions, Tigers, and Squares.
Yes, had it.
Yeah, yo. So I
Fire.
used to go there actually on my way back from the Nets games because I used to have to hit the tunnel. And I would drive through Midtown to go there, but they fell off the last couple of years. When they first came out,
They're
like
fire.
7 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
Bro, it was amazing. Like during the pandemic, I used to take trips over the tunnel to grab Lions, Tigers, and Squares. It was that
I,
good.
I
I love
probably haven't
Detroit
had
style
it.
pizza.
Detroit style. I probably haven't had that. I had that place once 4 or 5 years ago. It was still pretty good. So I guess they fell off the last few years.
Pizza Night makes a good Detroit style.
All right, I'm gonna turn you on to a really good Detroit style. You ready?
Yeah.
Pizza Side in Cliffside Park.
Is that like a newer spot?
Last few years they opened. Their regular
Yeah.
pizza's okay. I'm not gonna be like, yo, go get. They make a Detroit style that pound for pound, probably the best I've had in Bergen County. Better than Pizza Night
Have you tried
because
Pizza Nights?
yeah, I
You
don't
tried
love
Pizza
pizza.
Nights?
Pizza Nights isn't bad, but they kind of make the crust a little bit harder than it needs to be. A Detroit
I like
style
that
should be
though.
the one from
Yeah.
Pizza Side's a little bit more crunchy. It's a little bit less hard, but it's perfect. It's very check it out. Pizza Side.
Yeah.
It's like a 20-minute drive for me, but yeah,
Do you
that's their
get you
spot.
get the Detroit you get the Detroit just plain? Or do you get like you get a
I get
what
all
do you get?
three. I get the plain. I get the one with hot pep and the little whipped ricotta, and then I get we get a white pie too because my wife likes white.
Yeah, like when I used to go to Lions, Tigers, and Squares, I would get the they had the vodka with the ricotta one. They got the white, and then I would change it up for the third one. I would either get like meatball. They make a great meatball. Like I would get
I
like a
like a good
classic, just
meatball.
pepperoni. Yeah, yeah. On the Detroit style, I wouldn't get a meatball like a regular pie,
Yeah,
but on the
Detroit.
Detroit style, it hits.
I feel you. All right, final food question. What is your least favorite kind of pizza? If like someone's like, "Yo, we're getting this pizza," you're like, "Ugh."
You know, I'm not a big fan of. This might be unpopular. I'm not a big fan of like the chain pizza places. Like, like if like people at work, like sometimes I'll order like Pizza Hut or something. I'm not maybe like once a year I'll get like a weird craving for like something off one of those menus that's not pizza and be like, hey, we're getting Pizza Hut or we're getting Domino's. But I don't really like those. And then I don't know, bro. Like I don't really like anything like with seafood. Like I love seafood and I'll eat
Not
any
on
other like
pizza.
seafood, but I don't like it on pizza, man. Like there's something about it that just like because if you don't eat it right then on spot, it feels weird. And like pizza to me, like I should be able to go back, reheat it, throw a slice in the toaster oven and not miss a beat. Like I should be able to pop that in at least the next day, maybe even two. I feel like with a seafood slice, if you get like some scallops or something, like you gotta eat that right when it's served, bro. Like, or it's over. It's got to be a personal 10 inch. You can't get a pie of that shit because it's not unless you're housing it, bro.
Well, how do you feel about like a white clam pie? Because those are actually pretty popular in the Jersey bar scene.
So I like a white clam pie, but the thing is that you got to eat it. Like I wouldn't want to face a whole pie of that.
I
Like
get you.
like if I'm with a group of guys and like we're each getting a different pie and we're trying from each other, cool. But like that's more for me like a sample one. I wouldn't want because I even like the I don't know if you like the Connecticut style pizza. I kind of am a fan of
The New
The New Haven
Haven.
style.
I've had it like 3 times in my life. It's all right. It's not bad.
I like it a little more than that for sure. But I like it a little more than the all right, but that's a big pie for them too. And it's the same thing. Like
Yeah.
it's got to be on spot,
The white
like
clam. No, I feel you.
yeah.
Cassie's in Englewood does a decent like personal white clam pie. I'll get it every now and again. I do prefer like a standard pizza, but if I'm looking to switch it up and have some different, all right, seafood on pizza is not your thing. I fucking hate veggie pizza. I think putting a bunch of raw vegetables on a slice of pizza completely ruins the pizza for me. You don't taste the cheese and the sauce. You just
What
taste the
about
raw
spinach?
vegetables. Well, if it's just spinach, I'm all right with that. But like
Like
when
what about
someone
a
gets
white slice but like spinach?
I'm into that. But when someone
Yeah,
gets a
yeah.
veggie pie and it's assorted vegetables that just are like take up all the real estate on the pizza, get
No, I
that
don't
the
like that
fuck
either.
out of here. Get that out of
Yeah, I don't
here.
like that either. Like yeah,
Yeah.
that's too much. Nah, give me less is more on a slice.
And then the other thing I'll say is like most standard European pizza out of Italy. So like basically a lot of the other pizza in Spain that I would look at is ass because every restaurant in Europe has pizza. Like all the like you can get it anywhere, but for the majority, it's terrible. They don't know how to do the crust out in Europe. I don't know why. So pizza, not like I guess. I don't really travel that much in the US to other states, but pizza outside of New York, New Jersey, mainly in Europe, ass. Not
Yeah, no, I
Italy.
agree. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I've barely been out of the United States. I've only been out of the country once in my life, literally for like a week. But I've been to a lot of states in the United States, and pizza outside of New York, New Jersey, and I will give a shout out to our neighbors in Connecticut. I'm a little higher
Connecticut.
on that pizza than you are. Connecticut could get a seat at the table for me there, but outside of that, pizza sucks in the other states, bros.
Lo
Especially in
lo
Florida.
oh
Especially in
yeah.
Florida.
Love
Had some of
my
the worst
boys.
pizza of my life down there.
Love my UMass alumni out there in Massachusetts. But those 4 years, I
Oh,
fucking
their pizza. Bro,
I
I went
would
to
have.
college in Scranton, Pennsylvania. You
Yeah,
had better
that's
than I
tough.
did.
That's tough. Nah, I feel like Philly's closer to good pizza than Massachusetts is.
Oh, we're nowhere near Philly, bro. We're in Scranton. We're in the middle of nowhere,
That's true.
bro. We're in the
That's
middle
true.
of nowhere.
All right, that does it for episode 252 of Spenny and the Nets. Justin, any final
Thanks for
words to
having
the
me on,
listeners
brother.
out there? I need the final words, brother. What are we giving Nets fans before we end the pod?
Nets fans, all I have to say is hang in there. We're built for this. We've seen dark days and darker and darker. And hopefully, one of these years, we snap out of it. And let's just hope that Sean Marks feels the pressure, feels that this is it, and has the summer of his life. Because I'm tired of watching the bullshit. I know you are too. I know all 17 or 18 of us are. And it's time that we put an end to this shit and get a roster together that we can at least be somewhat excited about. That's my message to Nets fans. Hang in there. Let's try to remain somewhat excited.
On the flip side, if the Nets don't make the playoffs next year, I think Sean Marks is gone, and we're gonna have to start over with a new GM who we hopefully don't hate and doesn't keep us in mediocrity. All right. Thanks to everyone for listening to EP 252. Once again, I'm Spenny on Spenny and the Nets. That's Justin G. He's a recurring guest, and we'll catch you guys on the fireside. Bye bye.